Hi everyone, this is Mitch from the 9 Haggerty Center, back with another art project idea. Today we're going to be making a wall hanging out of Pom Poms. Some supplies you will need to start is some different colors of yarns you'd like to use, a piece of tape, scissors, and you also could use a fork. I'll explain that later. And you also will need a stick. I found my stick along a walk, so if you'd like to find one from a yard or outside somewhere, that would be excellent. Just a friendly reminder that if you are a 9 Collective member and you need some supplies, please let us know and we will get some to you. Now that we are ready to make our pom-poms, there's many different ways to make them. Today we'll be talking about 2 ways to do that. You might need some help to do this, so if you do, please ask someone you live with, as they will be the best person to support you in the project. First, cut a long piece of yarn and set this aside. We'll use this later to tie the pom-pom. Hold 2, 3, or 4 fingers out in one hand. The more fingers you use here, the bigger the pom-pom will be. Here in this example, I'm going to use 3 fingers. So to start, hold the string with your fingers or thumb at the end and wind the yarn around your fingers. If someone is helping you, wrap the yarn around their fingers instead of yours. If you want to use 2 or more colors in your pom-pom, you can switch colors by cutting the yarn and begin winding with another color. Continue wrapping until a good amount of material is wrapped around your fingers. So now that we've completed that, this is what a good amount looks like to make a full and fluffy pom-pom. Carefully slip the wound yarn off your fingers. Gently place it on the yarn you set aside near the end of the single strand. Tie a double knot around the winded yarn with a long piece. Next, take your scissors and carefully cut all of the loops of yarn around the pom-pom. Now you can see that it's finally taking shape into what looks like a pom-pom. If yours ends up being uneven, you can use your scissors to trim any long pieces, but don't cut the extra long ones. Now that we've learned one way to make a pom-pom, there's another way you can also do this with a fork. Using the fork, it makes very tiny pom-poms, and it's a very similar process, but instead of using your fingers, you'll be using the fork. Again, you will wrap the yarn around the tines of the fork until you have a good amount of wound yarn. It usually will take less material than your fingers because it is much smaller. Once you have a good amount of material, carefully slip off the yarn from the fork onto your string. Double knot the wound string and cut the loops. Trim off extra yarn. Keep making pom-poms until you have a bunch to use later. I made about 15, but you can make as few or as many as you'd like. Once your pom-poms are ready, it's time to attach them to your stick. I like to plan my hanging first, so I've placed pom-poms where I'd like them to hang. One by one, I tie a single knot of the long strings onto the stick to see what it looks like while hanging. If I like that position, I'll tie another knot to make it a double knot, so that it is now nicely secured. You can also tie pom-poms to other pom-poms to make clustered shapes. The final step is to attach some yarn to the stick to create a place for it to hang from. Cut a long piece of string. Double knot the string around the stick near one side. Now double knot the string around the stick near the other side, making sure that the string is nice and loose. Once it's attached and pulled taut, it should kind of look like a triangle shape. Just before you finish, you can, if you want to, trim off the extra yarn from your knot tying from the pom-poms and also from the hook for the hanging. And that's all there is to it. Now you've made a wall hanging for your home. Please find a good spot to put it for everyone to admire in your household. Please share with us your artworks with the hashtag NinaArtChallenge or send us photos to janice@thenina.ca. Now, have fun, and I hope to see you soon.